this strip's at an elevation of 1,000 feet. It's 1,600 feet in length. That's 300 than the dog leg and 1,300 more to the end where the trees are.
AOPA keeps flying safe, accessible, and fun by protecting your freedom to fly. We are the most trusted one-stop resource for all things related to general aviation. Become an AOPA pilot today.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a rolling start on this first 300 feet of the dog leg and make the turn and then go full power. That way I've got some forward momentum already. It's going to get me off the ground quicker than if I just went up to the aligned part of the runway and held my brakes and went full power. I have options climbing out. I can climb straight ahead if I've got plenty of altitude and go over the trees at the end, or I can also turn slightly. There's a cutout just off to the right of the departure end of the runway that there is lower, so I can always climb out that way as well. So we'll see how my performance is taking off. It's starting to warm up a little bit, so I'm going to keep that as an option. Alright, so I'm going to get a rolling start. Stick is full back. Keep adding just a little bit of power here. And make this turn, keep adding power as I'm making the turn. Here we go. Alright, lined up full power. There we go. Alright, I am going to come off to the right just to give myself a little bit more clearance here. I could clear those trees, but nice to have a little more margin. So, field elevation's 1,000 feet. Setting up my pattern at 1,700 for this. And I'm established on my downwind. Up over half a wing strut. I'm configured 20 degrees of flaps. Holding around 70.
The wind is blowing down the runway here in your favor. It's blowing towards you.
Okay. So I'm turning my base. So I'm talking to my dad on the radio. He's on the ground. It's always helpful, you know, if you have other people around, it's nice to have them talking to you with what the conditions are like there. Because at these strips you can't really call in to the AWAS. Alright, I'm going to start turning my final here. 55. Pretty good. I have the trees right there at the end of the runway that I need to clear. Yeah, I'm getting bumped around just a little bit. Slowly working out my power. I'm going to catch a little power here on landing. There we go. Alright. And down. Slow down well before the dog leg. Again, I'm going to use the full runway for takeoff. Come back here and turn around. Alright, I'm going to get a rolling start. Here we go. Gonna hug the side here just a tad. A little easier for me to make that turn. Start bringing in the power. Here we go. Alright, climbing out. I've got plenty of clearance. I'm going to go straight out over these trees now. Get my altitude, accelerate. I'll bring it back around. for another landing. One thing, the later it gets in the day, the bumpier it gets, the winds will start picking up. Still calm as of now down at the runway. A little lower than I like to be, but add a little power and correct for that. There we go, it's looking better.
You're looking good.
Alright, I'm at 55. 55 to 60, and it's bouncing around just a little bit. My power. I like to come in over this one shorter tree here, and then I just correct slightly. Alright, I'm coming off to the right again. So this runway is on a ridge top, and it actually has pretty good go-around options. Whereas if it's down a, if the strip's down in a bowl, you might have a commit point. If there's rising terrain, you might need to go around decision earlier. But this one, you have options. You could even be right down in the flare if you need to and go around. It's really important to know your go around options, because especially these backcountry strips, a deer could run out across the runway, it could be turkeys or something. So you really want to make sure that you're able to go around. And this one, you definitely are. So whether you're just not happy with your approach, or need to go around because something came out on the runway, you're able to, and it's good to practice that. As you're getting used to a field and you're flying approaches for the first time, you're going to do some approaches before you land. Those are always good practices for deciding at different points when you would want to go around. So I would decide now I'm just going to go ahead and go around. I'm just going to track right up here to the runway. I do have that hill in front of me, but flaps out. I can actually just curve right on around and climb out. Hope you enjoyed some of the backcountry basics on how to operate at a backcountry strip on a ridge top. Get more great videos from AOPA, just click like and subscribe.